Welcome to the Devroy Show. Thanks for watching and please remember to hit the notification bell. Like, share, comment and subscribe.
Welcome to the Devroy Show. This is my podcast, and today I have a special guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, say her name and where she's from.
Hi, my name is Osemerr Avery. I'm from New Jersey, but I live in South Florida now. 2 years now.
Nice. Now, let me ask you this: did you see you saw the last interview, right?
Yeah, I did.
Now, did you study the questions, or you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I still got that pregnancy. I still have some of that pregnancy brain, so I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? Okay. And of course, congrats on baby number 4, because I know you're doing your thing.
Yeah, man. It's almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
Mm.
Now, you know, when I think I reached out to you in December, and you know, I was hoping to tell you that I wanted to get you on. Mm-hmm. But because obviously I know the situation, so I didn't mention it. So I said, you know what, let her do what she has to do now, and I'll probably get her at a later time.
Oh.
Which is, so that's why I didn't say anything from before. But
right.
All right, let's get into it now. First question, you ready? This is going to be good.
Ready.
I think this is going to be good.
Okay.
Now, how's your day?
It's been a busy morning, but it's
busy.
going good. Yeah, my daughter had an award ceremony at her school.
Okay.
So we went to that. I thought my son was going to be getting high honor roll because he got straight A's, but They said because for behavior,
Ooh.
he didn't get the greatest grade for behavior. So he didn't get the award. So hopefully that'll be a learning lesson for him. I didn't think it was fair, but I was like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How are you as a mom? Are you strict, or you spoil your kids?
I do a little bit of both. Like depending on who you're talking to would say. I'm very strict, but I feel like I kind of balance it with like I'm very affectionate.
Okay.
I do kind of spoil my kids, but I like to have them like earn their things, So especially if they want a toy, and I'm like, well, if you bring home straight A's, or if you so and so, you know. So yeah, I would definitely say my biggest goal in my parenting is to have that balance. Like I'm super affectionate with my kids, and I always tell them I'm proud of them and I love them, but I can also be brutal. Like I'll tell them if they're acting stupid.
Right.
Like,
for sure.
You're a smart person, so don't act stupid. That what you did there, and my sister will be like, oh my gosh, but I think they're very well balanced kids, so I think it's doing well.
Now, I do have to say this as well. Everything I ask you, there's no right or wrong answers. It's based on your opinion. So,
gotcha.
It's whatever you feel. That's pretty much everything's going to be based on your opinion. Now, who's the first person you call for advice or to make a decision you feel is important?
The first person
is
my best friend, Yanisha.
Okay.
You know her.
Yes, I know her. Yep.
Yeah, that's like the first person. I have like 3 people that I call, especially since I know, like, I feel like I'll get a real balanced kind of perspective.
Right.
But that's number 1.
She's a go-to. Who's the second?
Yes. I would say Alosha, my younger sister. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And then the third is my mom.
Mom. Ooh, she's probably gonna hear this, so I don't know. She's not gonna be happy.
I think she's kind of aware of that, especially depending on the advice. If I feel like one of them is giving me like kind of extreme advice, then I feel like I might need to hear the other perspective. Usually my mom will be the most different perspective.
True.
So I get to kind of see it from different angles before I make a decision.
That makes sense, because your sister is probably gonna give you like, I guess like your peer or your friend is gonna give you like, she's your peer, so she's gonna give you like a general, versus a mom would give you like, I don't know, be more strict, or I don't know. It's kind of sound like it would be a balance to just get each
Like
perspective.
My sister gives me a little bit more kind of like agreeing with me
Oh yeah.
perspective. My best friend is more
Right.
so like she'll take how what I want to do and maybe times it by two.
Wow.
Whereas
Wow.
my mom will divide it by two.
Right. Right. So it's like
I'm
more
definitely,
strict. Yeah.
yeah, I'm more aggressive. My mom will be more passive. My best friend's very passionate when it comes to me, so she'll be a little bit more like raw.
Right.
And my sister's a little bit middle, like, yeah, I mean, you just should do it, you know? So I do like with all of their reasoning, because they're all like brilliant women, then it is easy for me to like find a balance when I'm really debating something, you know? So
Now,
Mhm.
who would you say know you best? Who knows you best?
Yanisha,
She's okay.
she
She
knows
knows
me
you
best because we tell each other everything. Everything.
See, I would. Yeah, I figured that's exactly what you would say. Now, do you have a relative that you relate to the most? Someone who do you think you relate to the most in your family?
Oh, like a relative.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't.
Really?
Like, yeah, we're all
Ooh.
so different. Like, even as close as me and my younger sister are, we
Mm-hmm.
are very different. Me and my
Mm.
mom are really, really close.
Right.
I'd say our biggest difference is that aggression and possessiveness. I mean, not possessiveness, passiveness. She's very
Right.
passive, but we kind of like respect each other's differences. So
True.
it's hard. Like I have a lot of relatives, but I can't really think of someone that I could say I really relate to, because I feel like we have such huge differences that we've like, we're not going to fight and try to tell you should do things my way. We're just
Yeah.
going to accept each other. So yeah, I really can't think of anyone.
You can't. Now, you're a mom. What's the hardest? Like, what's the hardest part of your day?
Bedtime.
You're okay. I was gonna say you're.
I was like scrolling through my day.
Okay, you're thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah, evening time is really tough because I'm really like, I want to get them to bed at a good time. Their set bedtime is 8:30. Most of the time they get to bed at 9.
Okay.
Because I'm just a stickler for like, I know my kids need to get a good amount of sleep at night. But right now things are a little bit calm. Well, we have the new baby, but they're not doing after school activities. Usually they're after school. And my daughter does swim and my son does soccer. So it's just like, once we get them from school, they go to a charter school. It's like a STEM charter school, and they get a lot of homework. So it's like getting them a snack, homework, and then Monday and Wednesdays are swim, Tuesday, Thursdays are soccer, Saturday mornings a soccer game. So evenings can be intense, especially since like I cook a lot. So then it's like, cooking dinner, juggling everything. 5 to 9. Like, don't call me.
busy.
Yes. And then once I get into bed, I can exhale.
So bedtime, that's the hardest. Now, what's the easiest?
When they're at school.
When they're away, huh? Wow, when they're away, that's the easiest part of your day.
Yes. When I was pregnant, it was just, me and Hero, and we could kind of run errands or lazy around some days. It was really just about getting him his meals and nap time. The baby's not even 3 weeks yet. So my mom was here from the day before I had him just until yesterday. So I wasn't really doing anything. So now we're kind of falling back into like figuring out what our schedule is with an infant and a toddler. But the kids being at school, it's a lot. It's just a lot less to think about. They're helpful when they're home. But also they have, their own things. My daughter has a rabbit. They have homework. So I would say just me, the baby, and the toddler. The house is a lot more quiet.
Easier when they're away for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people would agree with that especially moms, when the kids are away, school. Now, what's your biggest fear? You have the biggest fear in life. What do you fear the most?
Ooh. I would say like I have a fear of dying, because I feel like I don't know what my kids would do without me. We're so close, and life is so hard and scary and like dangerous that I feel like I'm supposed to just be here to protect them. But at the same time, even though it's a fear, I'm not really fearful of it because I feel like I'm gonna live a long life. I would say a more realistic fear of mine is that I'm going to spend my whole life just like busting my ass to provide for my kids. And then they're going to have a good life, but I'm going to be like, oh, and now I'm older and retired. Like, I would like to enjoy my youthful years. And right now I feel like it's just about like grinding. I just don't want to grind my whole youth. That's it.
Right. You're putting in the work now. You just don't want to put it in forever.
Ever. Yes.
True,
and
true.
Like, yeah. So I would say that's my biggest fear. Like, I do worry about that a little bit because I feel like my mom, she really grinded like during her youthful years, and she's still very youthful, but I think she's lost a sense of like not sure what her happiness is now that we're all grown. And I could definitely see, like, if that was my life, I would feel that way. I'd be like, my whole life has been dedicated to y'all. What am I supposed to do now? You know?
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have a strength? What's your strength? What do you feel your strength is?
That's a rough one because I have quite a few. Like one strength, like my number one strength, I would have to say my ambition.
Your ambition? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, and what's your weakness?
I would say my empathy is a weakness for me. I tend to prioritize other people's needs sometimes because I feel for them to an extent that I'll prioritize it over my own.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I have a bad habit of that.
Now, I was going to ask you as well, is that what about yourself you think you need to work on? Would that be one?
Yeah,
or something?
I would definitely say that would be it, because I've had other weaknesses that I feel like I've kind of overcome. So yeah, I would say really just prioritizing myself. I think that's my biggest thing that I need to do.
What about, all right, when it comes to relationship, right? When it comes to relationship, do you feel that a man should lead or women, or you think it should just be a balance?
I think it should be a balance, definitely.
Okay. It shouldn't be just one or the other. It should just be.
I think it depends on the relationship.
Okay.
Because I think some women are not built to lead. They're definitely built to like follow. And I think some women who are more so natural leaders, they need to be with a more passive man, you know? And I think there are some men out there who's like, girl, tell me what to do because I don't know. Right. For me personally, I need like that balance. So I definitely think everybody needs something different in their relationship. You know, I've spoken to women that like some people's like, listen, I want to be submissive. And some women's like, I want to be this or the dominant one. But for me, I need like that balance. I feel like both parties can like bring something, can offer so much. But it really works if you offer different things, you know?
Right. Makes sense.
So like, yeah, if someone's better managing finances and the other person is better with running the house and the other person's better, you know, kind of like that. But
you how would the finances run? Do you think it should be 50-50 or it depends on
like paying the bills?
Like paying the bills, yeah.
I think it should be a percentage based off of how much that person makes. If one of them makes considerably more than the other, then it's like it doesn't make sense to be 50-50 because then you're rich and she or he's broke.
Right. So you're saying it's based on whoever is making the most.
Yeah. If one person's making 60K and the other person's making 100K, then it's like you guys find that balance. I know some people who's like, oh, this person pays the mortgage and then the other person pays the utilities, the cable, you know, whatever. It might total up a little bit less or, but then at the same time, and then, yeah. And that's if both people are working, of course, because then you have cases where the mom is just a stay-at-home mom. And if you're taking care of the kids and the whole house, then, you know, yeah, the husband would take care of the bills. So I feel like when it comes to relationships, there's so many different ways of piecing it together. It really has so much to do with circumstances and the individuals themselves.
That is a good answer. I like that. That's balance. So basically, you got to pay the bill. If you make the most, then you probably should cover most of the bill.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense. All right. I want to know, what do you find most challenging in life right now?
Right now, what's
Yes.
most challenging? Find a good paying job.
Okay, at least you're being honest. I like that.
Yes, I think that's the most challenging right now. I was working
Mhm.
last year as a software tech at a law firm, and
Mhm.
it just wasn't paying very well, and the cost of living right now, it's like no adult, especially if you have kids, can afford to make like $25 an hour. It's like, how many hours
Yeah.
am I supposed to work?
Right. It's
So
crazy.
I don't think that people should be making the amount where they have to be in a relationship in order to afford a decent or halfway decent lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Like, I need to
Right.
just split my bills in order to. I don't think that's really fair. I think even if you're in a relationship, you should be able to make enough to be able to take care of yourself. Because I think a lot of people get stuck in relationships because they can't afford to get out of them.
Right.
And I think that's a major issue within, I would say, our generation, but it kind of goes back to like when women couldn't even work. Like, a lot of them were stuck in abusive relationships because they couldn't get a job. So, fast forward, it's like, well, if you can't get a job paying enough, how many people are stuck in relationships they don't want to be in just because we have a kid or plus and I can't afford to live on my own, I have my bachelor's degree. And looking at a lot of these jobs that require a degree and whatever experience, they're still not paying enough to afford rent, like today's rent.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest struggle. Like, I don't want to kill myself working. I want to get something remote. I want to be flexible with my kids, but I also want to make a good living. And that's like, oh, you're supposed to now go and get your master's or your doctorate degree in order to do that. And to me, that's just ridiculous now. Like, bachelor's degrees are looking more like freaking high school diplomas as far as where it's going to get you in the workforce. It's a lot of work and money. I should be able to make more.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that with degrees, and it's like it's worth nothing because you can't
and
afford.
They have a side hustle,
Right?
Yeah,
Which is
crazy. People I went to college with that were also like, one day they were my Uber driver. Because they got their degree and they have what's considered a good job, but the cost of living, the cost of groceries, like everything. It's like you always need a side hustle. And that's not really fair to any of us because we're going to spend our youthful years working a full-time job and a side hustle plus trying to raise a family. What?
Yeah, right now. Yeah, there's people working 2-3 jobs. It's like, it's crazy. And it's still
it's really
not enough.
Fair.
They're doing 2-3 jobs just to balance everything. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that to me is like the hardest thing.
Okay, that's the most challenging thing now. Is just raise a pay.
Yeah, for not being overworked.
Now I asked, I mentioned this to your sister. I asked her if I didn't know you, and I asked your friend to describe you with one word. What would they say? You know what your sister said?
She said reliable. She said crazy.
She said crazy.
And
right?
And reliable. Yeah.
Now I'm asking you the same thing. So if I didn't know you and I ask a friend of yours, how is she? What's one word you would use to describe her? What would they say? What do you think they would say?
Right. And I should know this because me and my friend talked about this and she told me the word and I don't remember.
Oh, you forgot?
I forgot what she said exactly. Maybe supportive.
Supportive? Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being supportive. I like supportive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that because you said one word, right? Okay.
Yeah, just one. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. That's good. Nothing's wrong with supportive. Now, let me see. I don't want to go off my list. I just want to give you random questions.
Okay.
Let me go back. Oh, let me ask you this. This is gonna let me throw you off.
Okay.
Let me throw you off a little bit. Relationship question, right? So how do you feel? Do you think ex should be your friend? Should remain friends?
Exes?
Yes.
I think it's really depending on the situation.
Meaning?
Like, what type of relationship was it? I have exes that there's no way I could be friends with them. I also don't really have male friends. Yeah. And it's so funny, I was telling my sister, I was like, yeah, I don't do the whole male friends thing really, because to me, they're not, a lot of times they're not real friends. They're like interested in you, like even if it's not your ex, they're interested in you. When you're not available, they act funny. When you are available, they're trying to date you. You know, it's all this up and down. I don't like having friends that I see as like a close friend, and then one day they're like, I'm in love with you. Mm-mm.
Oh, it sounds like that happened quite a while. Sometimes that happens a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've learned. I used to have a lot of male friends because in high school, I was like, when I was younger, I was a bit more of a tomboy. I was about to say the wrong one. I got along with like a lot of guys, and to me, they're more reliable. I liked playing sports, so even into my early 20s. And then I think around my early 20s when I started realizing, like, what the crap why are y'all all trying to push up on me? You know, I've had people spread rumors about me, people that I did not deal with, and I was just like,
rumors.
Right. Yes, a lot
bad
of
stuff.
Well, just rumors that they had been with me or we slept together, and I'm just like, what? So that's when I realized, like, you know, guys, it just gets a little bit complicated because their feelings usually get involved, or they find you attractive, or they're into you because y'all are such good friends, you know. And I would say it happens more so that way than like me falling for a friend. But as far as an ex, yeah, I mean, I feel like a couple of my exes that I'm cool with, and there's some exes that there's no way. There's no way. Whether I feel like they wouldn't respect my relationship, or I feel like they still have feelings for me, so that just wouldn't be fair, because I don't try to stay in anyone's life who's like, oh, but I know they're still like hung up on me. If we've gotten to a place, especially like an ex from a really long time, if we got into a place where like we just are platonic friends and it's natural, then yeah, I'm totally for that. But if either person still has feelings and there's flirting around, it's kind of like, what are we doing? We're kind of too old for that. Like, I'm 34.
I was just gonna say you're too old for that, so you kind of like know the play. You're like, oh yeah, I've been here before, I'm not trying to do that again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I got man kids. I ain't got time to be flirting with an ex. Like, what?
Wow. Now, are you a firm believer in second chances?
No.
Okay. So
I'm a slight believer in second chance. I've given some second chances, but I wouldn't say a firm believer. I think that even some of the second chances I've given, I shouldn't have. You know, you're like, and I've realized that looking at my daughter, and I see some of the decisions that I've made that I don't want her to make. And so, you know, I tell her, like, you see how mommy did that? Don't do it. If someone like really treats you bad, leave them where they are at.
So you're trying to give her a game. You're trying to let her know, hey, I did this, so you don't have to do this.
Didn't work. Yeah, like this didn't work. I found out. You ain't got to find out again. You know, and she might say, oh, with this situation and whatever her feelings are, she's going to follow her own intuition. But I think I've learned from my own experiences that there's certain things. People do things because there's certain things that's embedded in them. And I think a lot of times we look at an action just as face value in action. Like, oh, that person let's take cheating, for example. Oh, that person made a mistake. And it's like, okay, it might have been a mistake, but why was that the mistake that they made? Right. You know, sometimes it could be, if you grew up watching your dad cheat, is it really just a mistake, or is it a learned habit? Mm-hmm. You know, so that's where it's like, when you give a second chance, it's not just like this person did me wrong. Well, have they done all the other girls in their life the same wrong? Because no one's going to stop you from doing me wrong again. Or, you know, is this learned behavior? Is this your first time cheating? Like, I just feel like there's certain things like that moving forward, I would be like, yeah, if you cross this line, you know, maybe you can go be better for the next girl. You don't have to prove to me that you're going to be better for me, because that comes with a whole lot of other mess.
Now, regrets. Mm-hmm. Your biggest regret. You have any? Or you're like one of those. Okay.
A little. You can hear me?
Wait, I think you just got cut off. So I think I was asking you about regrets.
Yes. Yeah, I have a couple.
A couple.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, like maybe literally 2. It's rough because even when you have a regret, then sometimes there's still something that good that came from it.
Yeah, learn. You like a lesson, like you learn something from that. So you're like,
Yeah,
you
or
know
a
what?
blessing. Sometimes a
True.
blessing can come from a mistake. So yeah, I would say because it's very complicated situations. So I would just say in a simpler form, my biggest regret are really kind of related back to the second chance, like letting people back into my life that I know are very toxic for the sake of, let's say we're family, we're related, you know? So like I have relatives that I've completely cut off, but I first allowed them to do way too much damage before cutting them off, knowing all along, and even times we might have stopped talking, and other family was like, oh, but that's blood, you know, those type of things. So I would say my biggest regret is like not identifying what family really is, because it's way more than blood, and allowing people to like do too much harm because you're getting second and third chances when you really just gotta like cut the rotten parts off, you know?
Right. Now, what do you want to accomplish in like say probably the next 5-10 years? Like what are you looking forward to? Yeah.
That's a long span.
Or a year from now.
Okay,
a year from now. What's the biggest thing you want to accomplish in 12 months? Let's do that.
12 months. I want to get a good paying job.
A good paying job.
Okay. Remote.
Yep. Gotta make sure
is the headline.
Gotta put that in the atmosphere.
Yes. A good paying job that's remote. And okay. Well, my daughter was training for swim team, so I'd like to get her in the swim team.
Okay.
And start saving up for the World Cup.
Okay.
Because we're gonna be in America 2026.
Okay. That's what's up.
I'm determined to take my son.
Okay.
So I would say those things, like get her into swim, save for the World Cup ticket, and have a good paying job, because I want to make enough to where I'm comfortable and I can have a credit card limit that's enough to go on vacation twice a year.
All right.
One domestic, one international. So
wow,
that's really
look at you.
My focus.
Nice. I like that. Now, what do you think you struggle with the most in a relationship?
Staying mad.
Wow, really?
That's my biggest struggle. Yeah, I'll be upset, and then if I vent, or like if not to vent to someone else, right? But if I talk to the person and say that these are the issues I'm having, I will feel such release getting that off my chest that even if they don't change anything, I don't have an attitude anymore. Then he takes it as everything's fine because she's not mad, and he's now had this learned behavior of, as long as I let her talk about it, as long as we talk about the problem, she's fine. I don't even got to fix the problem. And so I've noticed ways that I've made my relationship more toxic because I've allowed behaviors based off of my own, like my mom used to always say it was a strength that I didn't hold grudges. But and I can't keep an attitude. Like, to me, it's just like, oh, waste of energy. But at the same time, over the years, you start looking at stuff that you've let slide. And I'm like, I'm not even that type of person. Like, why would I let that slide? Not even realizing, like, oh, I talked about it, and eventually I just kind of got over it without actual resolution. So I think that's like my biggest problem, because it just perpetuates more issues moving forward when you don't fix the other issues, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now, if there's something that you could change about yourself, what would it be? Just one thing. Would you change anything?
Like personality-wise or looks?
Anything. It depends on whatever you want it to be. You want to change how you look?
I mean, I have baby weight, so if I could change how I look, it would lose the baby weight. Drop like 40 to 50 pounds. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think there's definitely something that I would change about myself. I'm just trying to think of what it is, because I've kind of fixed my temper and I fixed my procrastination issues. So I would say, I don't know. I can't even think about it. Like, I'm trying to think about my problems in life right now and what would
Really?
I
That means
change.
that probably means you don't want to change nothing. That probably means you're fine. Or it probably means
I
there's too
am.
much. It could mean there's too much, so you can't pick one too. So it goes both ways.
No, okay. I'm definitely struggling to find what it is because I do really like myself, but
Right?
but I'm like, I know that there's something. 'Cause I'm always trying to find ways to improve. I'm like, but there's something that I would change. But yeah, I can't even think about it. You know what it is? Again, I would say it goes back to the relationship thing. Like, not being blindsided by like nice words or not wanting to be angry, and really, like, I would say standing my ground with fixing the issue, or if the issue can't be fixed, moving on. Yeah.
Okay, I could hear you now. The audio probably just
Oh.
went out.
Ah. Okay, let me see. Mm, okay. Can you
Yeah, I
see
could.
me?
Yeah, I could see
Okay.
you. I could see and hear
Oh,
you.
okay. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So I feel like, yeah, I wish I would stand my ground a little bit more. I think
Yeah.
I can be a bit of a pushover sometimes.
How do you cheer yourself up when I guess you're stressed or
Down.
sad? Like, what do you do?
Sometimes chocolate.
Chocolate,
It used to be wine, but I've
wine
not
and
had
chocolate,
wine
huh?
in a long time.
So that
Since
that
I've been
works.
pregnant. Yeah, that definitely helps. Talking to like my best friend again, she'd be cracking me up, and I'd be forgetting that I'm even mad. Um. Oh man.
You
Yeah, I
know,
would say those two things. There's something else. My kids really. Like, I think sometimes, a lot of times, if I'm feeling really down, I just have to count my blessings. And I'm really big with that, like reminding myself the good things. Because when you're down about something or something's really disturbing you, it's so easy to just think about all of the bad things in your life, in the world, that's ever happened to you. You know, like, we tend to flood ourselves sometimes in our issues. So I would say sometimes I will, like, when I'm really feeling down, just stop and, like, my kids are my biggest blessing. So I'm just like, listen, they're happy, they're healthy, I'm healthy. I know there's things that I need to work on, but I know what I need to work on, so I'm not blinded, you know.
hmm
And then that kind of like picks up my spirit. A lot of times I'm like, I'll have my kids sleep in the bed with me, or we'll watch a movie, or I'll be like, I'm gonna take them out, get away from.
trying to get away. Really?
Yeah, I'm a runaway person. I
Mm,
have a bad habit since I was very young, a minor still. When I'm really overwhelmed or I feel like I'm being mistreated, I run,
mm.
flee the scene.
Wow. And
I've
you
done
you
it in
haven't
my
stopped running
bonus.
since. You're still running. You don't have to run anymore. You're an adult. You're older now. So why are you still
I
running?
know. Well,
And you
when
have
I
kids,
had
so you're not allowed to run anymore.
when I had just the two, Kimora and Leo was like 6, 7 months. I lived in Jersey. I did
hmm
run. I packed up my truck and I came down to Florida and lived
Yes,
down
you
here for
did.
6 months with a relative because it
Yes.
was too much drama in Jersey.
Right.
Um, I do cut people off a lot. I've had some drama before where I was just like, everybody's X'd out.
Uh,
um,
Now, since you've been in Florida, isn't your don't isn't it like your headspace more clear versus
Yeah, I love it down here. I mean,
okay,
just like the air, the smell of the air alone.
it's
Like, you go
way
outside, you're
different, right?
like, it's sweet.
There you go. See, you said it, so you know.
Yeah, man. And it's just beautiful in the sun and the palm trees, even on a dreary day and the breeze. Like, it is, like, it just puts your spirit in a different place. But then, there's still life issues and stuff. And so, I don't know. I still have those moments where I'm like, I need to
You still running.
run.
Now, what do you do for fun? What you do for fun, or you have no time for fun because you know you
So
got to be a mommy.
recently I've had no time for fun. I would say definitely this past couple of years. Before I had Hero, which is my 2-year-old, I did pole dancing. Well, I've always danced. But I was in 2020, I was doing pole dancing and I was in school and I was bartending. So I was still very busy, but I would say pole dancing and tennis. dancing in general. Like I would love to get back into ballroom dance. I would love to get back into hip hop, but I've not done really any activities since I had Hero, because it was just, we moved down here. He was 3 months, and then it's just crazy with my kids' routine. So, again, I feel like if I have a good paying job, I can pay a babysitter here and there for me to have time to say, I really want to get back into tennis. It's great physical activity, and I've always enjoyed it since I was a teenager. Plus, I told my best friend, because she plays with she's part of different leagues, and I told her, I said, I'm gonna get good and I'm gonna challenge you, because we used to play each other and we're both very competitive. And so tennis and dancing, gardening, but I don't know, I would say since I got down here, gardening's been a challenge. It's actually harder in Florida than New Jersey, which I was shocked. The bugs are insane.
Yeah.
And so I would say I've not enjoyed gardening as much. I still like to do it, but when you have enough failures, you're like, oh gosh. It feels like it takes the fun out of it when it's like you're just trying to wreck your brain of how to keep these plants alive.
What were you growing?
Down here, so I have a few trees. I have a mango tree, coconut, guava, cherry, 2 banana trees, which we harvested bananas from those. But I had a garden box. I had peppers, eggplants, and a grapevine. My grapevine dies every winter and comes back in the summer. And I'm like, so when am I getting grapes if you keep dying every winter? And it's not even cold.
You list so many things that you're growing. I was about to tell you, because I'm growing stuff too, but I don't even feel like saying it no more. I really only have like carrots and some lettuce.
Listen, if you're harvesting those, that's good, because my garden box, I had eggplant. I put a new eggplant plant in there because the other one died after about 1.5 years. And I put a tomato plant and a blueberry bush. Everything died. I could not figure out how to keep these plants alive. I'm like, this is the same garden box that I grew the other ones in. But I went out there today and I saw that where the tomato plant looks like a little sprouted tomato plant. So we might get a baby from there. The blueberry bush looks like it's holding on for dear life, but it's still living. Yeah. So that's a good thing. And the grapevine is, I'm like, okay, I might not get grapes till like 5-10 years from now, because it grows a little bit every summer and then it looks like it's dead in the winter. It grows a little bit more in the summer. So I saw like a green leaf on there.
Wow.
My banana trees, though, they both harvested bananas. I got 148 from the first and a little under 100 from the second. Yeah. Banana tree. My guava tree grew guavas last year, and some animal, I think it was the raccoons, snatched all my damn guavas. So you have raccoon problems taking everything then. That's not gonna work. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. So I'm gonna put cayenne pepper around the tree next time they start to grow some guava, because I know they have like senses in their hands, so you put different peppers or spicy things and they won't go around.
I didn't know that.
I learned that like this animal sanctuary.
Wow.
that I went to. So my cherry tree, it flowers, but I think one time I got like 2 cherries.
That's it?
Yes. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, because people don't know, when you grow stuff, it's a lot of work, and just to get that, you're like,
and expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's very expensive.
But I think my cherry tree and my guava tree, they're very close to each other. Okay. But I've seen other people with like fruitful trees that are very close. Then I have this big, it's not a tropical tree at all, just a big old tree in the backyard. I think that's casting shade, so it's kind of crippling them a little bit. We're going to figure this out, though.
Do you know about what is it called? Is it hydroponic growing? You know about that?
And it's like a big beam or something like that. I saw that on Instagram.
Because I'm trying that now. It's you basically you're growing in hopefully I say the word right. I guess I have to post the right one when this is done. But you're growing in water. There's no soil.
Yes, there's no soil.
I've been doing that. So on my lettuce, I have them inside, which is great because what I like about it is you can grow throughout the whole year. So you don't have to, the season don't matter, for certain things. Or inside at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not, the lettuce are great, and it grows at least like, I think it said like twice as fast as the soil, so it grows really fast.
So do you have like a fertilizer or any type of
So
nutrients in the water?
yes, so they have, when you purchase the I guess the system, it comes with a solution. So you have the like a solution and a B solution, and you would put, it's a liquid, so you put that in the water.
Right.
So I guess
Is it
that
really
would be
expensive?
some of them, not really, some of them are, but you can find some other ones that are not really expensive.
I'm
But
gonna
it's
look
not.
into that. Yeah,
Yeah, but
because
and I'll probably send you some photos of how it looked, because I have,
okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I have them in my kitchen, and it's great for lettuce. I have couple peppers that I'm growing now, but they're
Right.
getting too big for it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna transfer it in the soil,
Okay.
because it grows pretty fast. Because I have some in the soil and they're still like at early stage,
Okay.
and the one that's in the water, it's pretty big. I'm just gonna transfer them and put them outside,
Oh, nice.
which is great, so it
Yeah.
speed up the process, so you don't have to wait. You know how you grow. I have some carrots it's been over like 4 months. I'm like waiting,
Yeah.
it's forever, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's see, where are we now? Did I ask you if you feel a relationship can survive betrayal?
No, you did not.
I did not. What do you feel about that?
I don't know about anybody else, but mine is not.
You're speaking, hey, this is based on your opinion, so hey, you're speaking for yourself. Definitely no, then.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, again, it's kind of like depending on the situation, like where the betrayal came from, how it happened, the age. And really, this is the thing. I think we can all make mistakes. There's certain things that I've given a second chance for that I feel like I never would have done.
Okay.
I feel like, so because I've never done it and I don't think I could, then it's hard to relate and really understand what was the driving factor behind that person's actions, and we're just here having hope and faith that it'll work out. I think that if a person can do something and you don't really fully understand why they did it, nor do they fully understand and really feel like they've overcome, that part of themselves, then you can't get past it. Now, I don't know if anyone's really betrayed their partner and did all of this soul searching and found themselves. I don't know if that even exists, or if a person who, does that, like, listen, I said sorry, take me back. So, again, I'm trying to think. I've only been, I feel like, in one situation or with one person that I was betrayed multiple times. My other exes, like, no one was really like out here betraying me or anything.
How you know?
Yeah. You got something to tell me, Devroy?
No, I have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. All right, so where we at? So we're at 40. Yeah, we're not gonna drag it out. I have to say, thank you so much for doing this, because your time is precious, and you gave me, it's at like 40 minutes now, 43 minutes, which is perfect. I don't want to make it too long, because that way I could just post the whole thing.
Gotcha.
And your sister is awesome. She spoke highly of you.
Aw.
She did. So, and I know y'all relationship, honestly I wish like a lot of sisters kind of had y'all relationship.
Yeah.
Because y'all
Life is hard, man.
Keep it going. If it doesn't go as it is going now, I'll be very upset. So,
No, yeah,
and
definitely.
I would blame you, because you're the oldest. So make sure.
We've had our bumps, but I feel like it's always something that we can get past.
There you go. There you go.
Because I think that's just genuinely, like, I feel like she's genuinely a good person.
Right.
And so it's never like, oh, you out here like doing some unforgivable stuff or nothing like that. I feel like we're learning through life. We've made mistakes. We've done things that we regretted. We've gotten past it, and we definitely accept that, like, we're not going to agree on everything. I don't feel like you have to have my perspective. She doesn't feel like I have to have hers. Sometimes if we're disagreeing about something a little too aggressively, then we just ixnay the conversation. Okay, next thing. Because I'm not going to convince you. I just don't feel the need to try,
True,
and then get all worked up about it. So, yeah, I feel like we definitely have a lot of differences, but it's mutual love and respect that really drives the relationship.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Now, like I said, thank you so much for,
You're welcome.
You're the best.
No, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad to have been able to help. It was fun.
Asking you is like, it's like, yeah, because most people say yeah, but when it's time, obviously everyone have a job and, everyone have kids and stuff, but you actually showed up, and you showed up on time and I didn't. So definitely you're reliable as well, which is good.
Thank you. Yeah, I know it's easy to cancel last minute. I was looking a bit of mess. I was like, but I just had a baby 2 weeks ago.
True,
so I think
exactly.
Gonna be understanding.
Yeah, you just had a baby, so people, they'll know.
Yeah.
So it's all good. All right, so I'm gonna let me see.
Thanks for watching, and please remember to hit the notification bell. Like, share, comment and subscribe.